Don't worry, we're almost there. Oh, I can't wait to see your reaction to the surprise I've planned for you. Well, I can't exactly tell you what it's a surprise for without ruining the surprise now, can I? No, you didn't miss an anniversary or an important date or anything. No, it's nothing like that, don't worry. This is something that I just wanted to do for you, okay? Alright, now, it's just over this hill, and here we are. What do you think? Well, no, I didn't exactly make everything. I had to ask Jean and Sasha for a bit of help. They are the best cooks in the Survey Corps, after all. Yes, leave it to a girl who's obsessed with eating to be the best at cooking. But, do you think that it looks alright? Oh, I'm so glad. Here, sit down. I spread out a nice blanket for us, and I know that it's a bit late, and though I know you weren't expecting another meal after supper, I wanted to do something extra special for you. Something that we don't really get to do in the Survey Corps. Well, yes, I did want to have a picnic with you under the stars, but, there is something else. Well, I was looking through this old astronomy book, and apparently, according to the book at least, maybe the information is inaccurate and we aren't going to see anything at all, but, there is supposed to be something called a meteor shower tonight. I don't know exactly what that means, but apparently, if we look up into the sky at the right time, we can see what looks like shooting stars moving across the sky. Isn't that amazing? I was hoping you'd like it. What's this for? Well, I know it might be a bit, awkward to talk about, but you told me that you've been, clean for a while now, and I thought that that deserved a celebration. You didn't think that I would care about that? Why's that? People don't usually care about this kind of thing. Well, that seems a bit odd. After all, you're improving. You're taking the steps that you need to treat yourself the way you deserve to be treated. I don't understand why someone wouldn't care about that. People think that it should be expected? Forgive me, but that seems a bit ridiculous. I mean, you wouldn't do the same thing to someone who was physically ill, would you? For instance, if someone had a heart attack and couldn't breathe properly for a week, you wouldn't just expect them to start breathing normally within a few days, would you? The same thing goes for things like mental illness. If someone's been suffering and has been in pain for a long time, you can't just expect them to change their habits overnight. That's just unfair, and it's placing an undue burden on them. Another expectation that they feel like they can't live up to that then causes them to feel worse about themselves, and then it's just that same cycle of... Sorry, I was ranting again, wasn't I? I'm sorry, it's just... I don't like when people think that way. Especially now, knowing that you're going through this. I always thought that it was absolutely ridiculous to expect people to just be fine no matter what's going on in their mind, and especially now that I know just how much the person I love is suffering. It really makes it difficult to understand that the people who are saying these things, the people who are expecting these things, they have no idea just how bad things can be for people who are going through what you're going through. And of course, I wouldn't wish that experience upon them. I don't hope that they'll experience it so that they understand. That isn't what I mean, but you would think that they would understand that physical and mental illness both have lasting effects on someone. And before you say it, I know that we have more information about physical illness than we do about mental illness, but you would think that anything with the word illness in it would make people think twice about expecting certain things from people. What? How did you get lucky? Oh, because you're surrounded by people who do understand what you're going through? Well, I guess that is pretty lucky, isn't it? I mean, of course it isn't lucky that anyone has to suffer through this, but at least you don't have to suffer through it alone. That is pretty lucky. Most people, they don't have anyone to understand what they're going through. And even if they try to explain it, and even if the person they explain it to does understand to the best of their ability, it isn't the same as understanding it because you've experienced it yourself. I'm not exactly sure I'm glad that we can all experience it the way you do and understand better because of it, but I am glad that it at least helps you know you're not alone. Of course, I wish that none of us had to experience it, but at least we all have each other. And that is something that I'm sure all of us can be grateful for. Yes, and it does help that because of their understanding, they're always going to be there for you with hugs and pats on the back and pretty much any kind of comfort you could need when you're going through a bad patch. They'll have snacks, too? What do you... Sasha realized you weren't having the best day yesterday, didn't she? I should have known that her go-to comfort action would be to give food. Well, did it at least help? Really? I didn't realize that sharing food could be so helpful when someone's having a bad day. Was it just the food, or did she say anything to help you feel better? Really? If you don't mind me asking, what did she say to you? Oh, that is so sweet of her. I know that she's got a bit of a different experience compared to the rest of us, but it's nice that she said, even though she doesn't fully understand, she wants to be there for you. And that she'll use what understanding she does have to help you. Oh my gosh, you didn't tell me that! She just put the potato in your mouth when you opened it to speak. Well then, that's one way to make someone feel better, I suppose. Although, that is what Mikasa usually does. I wonder if they just have similar experiences with dealing with trauma, or maybe Sasha learned it from Mikasa, since I have seen Mikasa just putting bread in Sasha's mouth to make her feel better. I guess anything is possible nowadays, right? Yes, I suppose anything in this world does seem possible. After all, we've all seen some pretty strange things, haven't we? And we're going to see something pretty strange, but beautiful tonight. At least, if the information in that book is at all accurate. Huh? Yeah, you can tell me something. What is it? Oh, okay. When you were having a bad day yesterday, you almost relapsed and started hurting yourself again? Well, It's okay to feel that way. I mean, obviously it isn't okay for your mental health for you to feel that way, but, that didn't come out right. What I mean is, there's no shame in feeling that way. You're not a bad person for feeling that way. Of course, I do hate that you feel that way just because I feel like you don't deserve to feel that way. What I mean is, if you're expecting me to be mad at you for feeling that way, or if you're expecting me to judge you for feeling that way, that isn't going to happen, I promise. I'm guessing that was before Sasha put a potato in your mouth? I see. I know that we talked about it last night, but was there anything else you wanted to say about yesterday? No? Okay. Well, thank you for telling me about that, and I promise if you ever feel that way again, I won't get mad at you for feeling that way. And if you ever feel that way again and you act on those feelings, I won't be mad at you then either. I will be worried, of course, and I might panic for a moment because, well, you know how I feel about you. You know how much you mean to me. And, of course, whether it's on purpose or by accident, if you get hurt in any way, I'm going to worry. That's just how I am with the people I care about. But I won't be mad. I will never be mad at you for something like that. Granted, I sometimes come off as mad or upset when I'm panicking, but I promise, no matter how I act or how upset I might seem, I'm just upset because this world is putting you through so much that you honestly don't deserve because you are a literal angel who somehow fell from heaven and you don't deserve any of this. You don't deserve what you're going through. So I will get a bit upset with the world for deciding that you deserve this, but I won't be upset with you, okay? I know I'm starting to cry a bit. You just mean so much to me, and I worry about you. Even if you weren't going through this, I would worry about you every minute of every day. Of course, I mean that. You are everything to me. There will never be a day when I don't worry about you. All right. I'll try to pull myself together a bit so that we can enjoy the meteor shower. Really? You've heard something about shooting stars? What have you heard? I'd love to know. If you see a shooting star and make a wish, it'll come true? I never knew that. Do you think that that's true? I hope it is too. Let's see if we can find one so we can make a wish. Oh, look! There's one! Do we make our wish out loud or in our heads? Out loud is fine? Then, is it alright if I take this one? Okay, good. I wish that someday you and I can be happy together. Happy for a long time. As long as you deserve. Which would technically be eternity, but I don't think either of us will live that long. Really? You think that wish will come true? I think so too. Even if the magic of a shooting star doesn't work to make it true. I'll make it happen. I promise. I will do whatever it takes to make sure you have the happiness that you deserve.